Good morning, everyone. Today we will be discussing the Green Bay Packers draft picks and the rumors about Aaron Rodgers. In the first round of the NFL draft, the Packers held the 29th overall pick and they decided to go with Eric Stokes, a cornerback out of Georgia. He is 6 foot tall, 194 pounds, and runs a 4.29 40-yard dash. I think he is a very fast secondary player, and I think it's a great move to add depth to the secondary, especially since we kind of need to find a replacement for Kevin King. In the second round, the Green Bay Packers had the 62nd overall pick, and they decided to select offensive lineman Josh Myers out of The Ohio State University. He is 6 foot 5 and 310 pounds. I believe that he is a center/guard combo. However, he spent his 2 years at center position. I think the Green Bay Packers selected him to eventually become Corey Linsley's replacement. In the third round, the Green Bay Packers traded up to the 85th overall spot, and they selected Amari Rodgers. He is a wide receiver out of Clemson. He is 5'9" and 212 pounds. I think he is a little bit short, but I think he could be a good slot receiver, and he has drawn some comparisons to Randall Cobb, so maybe he'll become our next Randall Cobb. In the fourth round, the Green Bay Packers had the 142nd overall selection, and they selected offensive lineman Royce Newman out of Ole Miss. He is 6 foot 5 and 310 pounds. He is primarily at the guard position, however, he can play tackle. I think this is a good pick. It adds to the O-line depth, which is something we definitely need, especially after losing Corey Linsley. At most, he'll be a backup this year, but good to have that depth going forward. The Packers held 2 picks in the fifth round. The first one of the fifth round they had was the 173rd overall pick, in which they selected defensive lineman Tedarrell Slaton out of Florida. He is 6 foot 4, 330 pounds, and in 2020 he had 10.5 tackles for a loss. This is good D-line help. We finally get Kenny Clark some help on the D-line, and he seems to be primarily a run stopper, which the Packers are in desperate need of. Now, the second pick in the fifth round was the 178th overall selection, which they selected cornerback Shamar Jean-Charles. I probably pronounced that incorrectly. From Appalachian State, he is 5'10", 184 pounds. Shamar Jean-Charles broke up a FBS high 17 passes in 2020. So this could potentially pan out to be an underrated pick, and it's more secondary help in which the Packers desperately needed. The Green Bay Packers also held 2 picks in the 6th round of the NFL draft. Their first selection, 214th overall, was offensive lineman Cole Van Lanen out of the University of Wisconsin. He is 6 foot 4, 305 pounds, and he is a Green Bay native. If I remember correctly, he grew up about 5 minutes away from Lambeau Field, so he gets to play for his hometown team. He's a 3-year starter at left tackle, and I think it's a good depth pick. Like I mentioned before, it's great to have that extra offensive line depth. The second selection in the 6th round is the 220th overall selection was linebacker Isaiah McDuffie from Boston College. He is 6 foot 1, 227 pounds, and he had 107 tackles in 2020, which is very good. I think there's some potential there for him. He'll be able to sit behind Kamal Martin and Chris Barnes and be able to learn from them, and just kind of good to shore up that inside linebacker depth. Now, the final pick for the Green Bay Packers came in the 7th round at 256th overall. They selected running back Kylan Hill out of Mississippi State. He is 5'10", 214 pounds, and in the notes it said that he only had 1 fumble, so that is definitely something that we like to hear going forward. And I believe that the Packers selected him to replace Jamal Williams because Jamal Williams left to Detroit in free agency. We did re-sign Aaron Jones, which I think it was a great re-signing, and we also have A.J. Dillon, but we selected Kylan Hill to replace that void of Jamal Williams. Overall, I think the Packers had a pretty decent draft. I believe that we addressed the big needs of our team, and if I had to give it a grade, I would probably give it a B or a B minus. I think we did a pretty good job there. I think there are some moves we could have made differently. I think going after a wide receiver in the 2nd round instead of the 3rd probably would have been the route I would have taken, but of course I'm not a GM. So overall, I think this grade gets a B or B minus, and we'll see how it pans out. Now, here's where things get interesting. On the first day of the draft, which was this past Thursday, news came out that Aaron Rodgers was reportedly so upset with the team that he told some people, some workers of the organization, that he did not plan on returning to the team for the 2021 season. Now, Wisconsin fans everywhere cry out loud and beg Aaron Rodgers to return. I think a lot of these are rumors. He definitely has a right to be upset with the team. Some things that have come out over the weekend and up to today say that Aaron Rodgers was displeased that the Packers traded up to get Jordan Love. They didn't even have any communications with Aaron Rodgers during that draft in 2019 or 2020, excuse me. They didn't talk to him about the fact that they would be selecting a QB. Another thing that I believe upset Rodgers was the fact that they released Jake Kumaro, who, if you don't remember, was a wide receiver for the Packers in 2018 and 2019. His long hair earned him the nickname Touchdown Jesus, which I think is pretty cool. He was a favorite of mine. He was a fan favorite. Not a great wide receiver, but good to have on the depth chart. And then other moves along the way as well, getting rid of Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson and Jared Cook, if anyone remembers Jared Cook from, I believe, 2017. He was a player that Aaron Rodgers liked a lot, and the Packers organization just decided to release all those players without even talking to Aaron Rodgers. So the Packers have had a history of making moves that have upset Aaron Rodgers without even talking to him, and they've almost dared Aaron Rodgers to say something about it. And I think Aaron Rodgers has finally gotten to the point where he's decided to say something about it, and I think the media is taking what he said and completely blowing it out of proportion to develop headlines. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is upset, and I think he wants to see some change, and hopefully these draft picks can kind of appease him. We got a wide receiver, we addressed the issues on defense, or some of them at least. But hopefully this situation can be restored. Hopefully Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy, and head coach Matt LaFleur can work it out with Aaron Rodgers so that he would agree to come back. It would not make sense to trade him because I don't think there's any real trade destination for him. Denver's been rumored to be a place, but I don't see them having the pieces to trade for him. They could give up a whole bunch of picks, but I don't see the Green Bay Packers trading him at all. It would not make sense for him to retire, because if he does, he would have to pay back around $11.5 million a year for the next 2 years, pay that back to the organization that he received in a signing bonus from the contract extension that he signed. I just don't see it happening that Rodgers retires or plays for another team. In my opinion, I think he will be playing for the Green Bay Packers, and he will be taking that first snap in week 1, whoever that is against. The schedule has not been released yet. I believe that comes out later this month, so we will see what the schedule looks like with the new 17-game schedule that was approved by the NFL and the NFL Players Association. They decided to add one more game to the season. I don't think I mentioned that in a previous video. So we have one more game per season. They're taking out a preseason game. I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, it's cool to see one more regular season game. However, I think that move is simply just for money. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this Aaron Rodgers situation can be resolved, and we will have Aaron Rodgers as our QB1 in the first week of the 2021 season.